I'm going to wait for a minute to see how many pop on. Hello, hello, hello. I see I've got 1, 2. Hey, Jasmine. Kara. Jennifer. It's great to see y'all on here. How you doing? Megan. Sheila. Carla. Sheila J. Erica. Yeah, I thought I would do a little live and we would talk about I Remember When. Are y'all familiar with that? It's a Neville Goddard technique that he taught. Carolyn, Nikki. I'm so glad to see everybody on here. How's everybody doing? Shane, Monica, Tanya, Carla. But yeah, like I was saying, I just want to get on here and talk about I Remember When, because a lot of people don't think to use that, but you can use that. It's almost like an instant revision. Like the example I always use, I remember when I could hardly pay my bills every month. And now I can pay them very easily. I remember when my SP and I didn't even know each other. Now we're so in love. It's really a great thing. I remember when. Neville used it to describe to his dad, I think he was talking about his dad, they would go to an empty lot and he would describe the building that he wanted to see on that lot, just like if it was already there. So when you're doing I Remember When, it is as if it's already there. It's a part of the law of assumption. So whatever you assume is going to be your reality. That's why it's so important to persist, persist, persist. Don't give up. Keep affirming. Keep visualizing. Because as long as you assume that it's that way, it will be that way. But the I Remember When is a great technique to use, especially if you feel stuck. If you feel stuck in a, and you feel like nothing is moving, try I Remember When and see what kind of results you get with that, because I've had some pretty good results with it. Yeah, it's not something you have to keep doing. You just, think, I remember when, things weren't so good, now they're wonderful. It's kind of like using the Isn't It Wonderful technique. It's kind of like on the same basis. All of it works together to help you stay in the part of the law of assumption that you want to be in, the state that you want to be in. It's kind of like, and it will kind of move you from a state where you're not having enough to a state where you have more than enough. And that's pretty much the basis of it. That's how it works. I'd like to know the same. Hold on, I'll find your question. Oh, thank you. Hold on, let me go back here a little bit and see. I didn't see the question. Assume it and affirm it. Yeah, it's kind of like assuming it, but you only have to say it one time, once or twice. Maybe like you don't say it over and over and over like affirmations. You just, think to yourself, I remember when, I didn't have enough and now I have more than enough. And it's just like, boom, it changes you from a state of lack to a state of abundance. And you just stay in that assumption. Because that's the only thing, manifestation is so, so simple. It is only assuming Whatever state you assume you're in, that's what creates your world. Because the only real world is in your imagination. The 3D is constantly changing out there according to your imagination. So if you assume... Oh, and another thing you could do on that, remember when, say for your SP, I remember when we were just a couple, now we're so happily married. It's just anything. You can use it for anything. And I have did a little bit of studies on it, and I've used it periodically. And it's not something that, like, goes bam, and it happens automatically. It's like a very subtle transition from one state to another. I mean, the state has changed, but it's so subtle, it's almost like you would think it was something that was going to happen anyway, but it's not. It's happened because of your assumption. No, you don't loop it like an affirmation. No, you don't. You just assume it and, state it. Like, I remember when I could hardly pay my monthly bills. Now I'm able to pay them, months in advance. And then you just leave it there. You just leave it there and just forget about it and let it do its thing. But yeah, you don't have to loop it. And you can use it anywhere, anytime. You can just be thinking it. Yeah, what it does is it helps you a lot, like when you get stuck and you feel like your manifestations aren't working. When you use that, I remember when, it kind of changes things up for you a little bit. And it kind of helps you, it's kind of like quantum jumping. I hadn't thought about that, but that's probably about the size of it. Because like I said, the real world is your imagination. The 3D is just out there, and it's constantly changing according to your imagination. Whatever you assume, this is the secret of manifestation. Whatever you assume is exactly how your world is. And you're always getting, instead of what you want, you get what you are. What you're believing. What's in the back of your mind, how you really think your world is. That's what causes your manifestations. And that's why sometimes you think, oh, well, it's not working, or that's not what I wanted. And because it's not what you want, it's what you think. What you're assuming, that's what you have. So make sure that you're assuming. And like for something that you really want, a SP, or to be married, or to have money, or a new job, or to be well, persist constantly in the affirmations. Persist constantly. It will happen. I promise you, it will happen. If you persist, it will happen. It has to happen. If you persist in your assumptions, they must harden into fact. I think that was in every book Neville Goddard wrote. There's no problems. Because it always has to harden into fact. So, like if you're having problems with your SP, and, maybe you're having a hot and cold situation, try the, I remember when. Try that. And see if that doesn't open some doors for you. But yeah, I think it helps build momentum. I'm looking to see if there's any questions. Y'all don't have any questions tonight? What happens when you only stay in the state of a certain amount of time? Time really has no bearing on manifestation. I mean, if you, like I've done a lot of times, like stating something will be here by Friday, or it'll be here by Monday, or whatever. I think that's just a point. I don't know if it would have happened anyway by that time, or if it would have happened sooner if I hadn't set a date. I don't know. I haven't really tried that. That would be interesting. I like experimenting with manifestation to see, what works for me and what doesn't. I know the more I manifest, the more I assume how things are, the faster things come to me, the quicker things turn over, and like my wellness, I get aches and pains. I'm older, so, but I've seemed to be able to manifest away aches and pains very, very quickly. So my money, I manifest money pretty fast, and I mean I'm still reeling back to you from that car. I've never had an experience like that. That was like amazing. And what happens when you only stay in the state for a certain amount of time? Nothing happens, really. You just change from one state to another. We're constantly changing states. Our states are determined by our assumptions. Yes, we make it hard. We make it complicated. It's not. Manifestation is not complicated at all. All it is the reality of your assumptions. Your assumptions, whatever it is what's going to be. Is what's going to create in your life. Let's see. I'm trying to see your question. Cancel. Let's see. Sheila, I can only see part of your question. So, example would be... Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. I already give the example. Yeah, Sheila, that's perfect. I remember when Daquan and I would argue, and now our relationship is so peaceful. That's a great one. That's really good. I remember when I was single, now I'm a loving, committed relationship. Yes, that's exactly it. I have my grandson. Yeah, I love him so much. He's my sweetness. Affirming simple. Yeah, affirming simple, but I feel like so many of us start with limiting beliefs. See, and that's so funny because you can say, manifesting is so easy for me. I have such patience. I have no problem waiting on my manifestation to occur because I know it's coming. Say things like that. That changes your whole attitude, and you just, I know it's coming, so there's no reason to be looking for it. Because that slows it down. As soon as you quit looking for it, it shows up. And that's why. Because if you're expecting it, it's not going to happen. I don't know. Maybe the creator of manifestation wanted it always to be a surprise. I don't know. But, I mean, that's always the way it happens. But yeah, if you affirm it so simple and easy, it will be simple and easy. And you can manifest, my manifestations always come fast and simple, or fast and easy. And you just make up your affirmations as you go along. If you're super, super anxious, say, I'm always calm and patient. I am always calm and patient. I know I have my manifestation. I'm always calm and patient. You just say the opposite of what you are that you don't want to be. You say the opposite. You speak it. You think it. So state it and release it. Yes, that's it. State it and release it. Is quantum jumping basically shifting reality, assuming you're in the state you desire? Yeah, I mean, like, when you're doing I remember when, you're going from a state of lack to a state of prosperity. Like, I remember when it was hard to pay my bills. Now I can pay them all ahead, That's two states right there. You're jumping from the state of lack to the state of abundance. or the state of being single to the state of being in love or happily married. You could do something like, I remember when I was single. Now I'm a happily married wife or a happily married husband. Let's see. Oh, Katie, don't get writer's cramp. I remember when we met, it was fireworks, and now we're happily together for a year. Yeah. Remember when I used to be worried about money, and now I have more than enough money to do whatever I want. Yes. Y'all are seeing, and you can do this all the time. I got laid off today. How do I revise and make my small business boom? My business is booming. My business is thriving. I make $500 a day. However much you want to make. You pick that amount and you stick with it and you see yourself. Just see yourself standing in your business and just kind of close your eyes and visualize money just falling from the sky on you. You can feel the paper hit your face, hit your shirt. Just feel like rain, raining money coming on you. And always say that your business is thriving, your business is booming. Everybody wants to, frequent your business. You didn't say what kind it was, so I don't know if it's a store or if it's a online business. But yeah, my business is thriving. It's booming. And if you want to do it, I remember when, you could do like, I remember when my business was just getting started. And now it's so huge. It's so big. Let's see. Yes, you can literally manifest anything you want. Yeah, happily living together. Anything. Yes, your dominant thoughts truly create. They really do. As I'm constantly affirming for my dad's full recovery. Yes, Shauna. My entire family is looking at me like I'm crazy. No, you stand your ground. You keep believing for that man. He will recover. You visualize him well. You could do a little scenario where, say you walk up to your dad and say, Dad, how are you feeling today? And he tells you, I'm well. I'm more well than I've ever been. And then you loop that over and over and over in your mind, that he is perfectly well. And I would visualize that at least once a day for him until he recovers. How could I revise my car accident? And would I be able to keep my new car? You've asked that before, Erica, and I don't know. You can just revise that the accident never happened. But now, maybe you would get to keep the new car. Because you can't really... I don't know if you could do it where it was... Did anyone get hurt? If no one got hurt, then I wouldn't really worry about it. But if somebody got hurt in it, I would be revising that they didn't, if you've already got a new car. Keelani, I've got the same last name. I didn't know that. But Eric, if you understand, like I said, if nobody got hurt in the accident, I wouldn't worry about it if you've already got your new car and everything. Sheila, why can you only stay in a state a certain amount of time? You can stay in a state as long as you want to. You can be in a state of, I'm rich and prosperous. Everything always goes my way. Versus, nothing goes my way state. You don't want to be in that state. You want to be in the rich and prosperous state. And you just want to dwell there. There's no time limit on that. Hey, Effie. Thank you. You can affirm all day, but if you dwell in the opposite assumption, you can't do that. It don't matter. You have got to... Your subconscious has to believe you have to get it to the point to where you believe what you're saying or what you're thinking. You're assuming that once you get it in your brain like a habit, then it's a normal thing. Your subconscious is going to pick up what is normal to you. So, that's why Sammy tells you to say your affirmations like you're telling a friend, so that your subconscious mind will accept it, because your subconscious is the one that creates. And so you affirm in a way that's normal and natural. And you kind of try to grab the feeling of having it already. If you can grasp the feeling of already having what you're wanting, whether it be a relationship or money or a new job or whatever, if you can grasp that feeling and feel it throughout the day, like when you're doing different things and it crosses your mind and you think about, man, it's so great that I've got that new job, or it's so great that I'm married. If you can grasp the feeling of it and hold it, it will usually manifest pretty quickly. There is no time limit. You can't set a time limit. It might be a day, a week, a month. But you just hold on to it and keep thinking about how it feels to have that until you see it. Let's see. You can affirm all day, but if you dwell, yeah. Yeah, if you're assuming one thing and affirming something else, what you're assuming is what's going to be, what's going to harden into fact. It's spiritual law. That's exactly right. Yeah, don't give up. That's exactly right, Emily. It's your life. It is your very life. When you want something bad enough, you'll do whatever it takes, within reason, of course, to have what you want, especially when it's something as simple as affirming for it. That's all I got to do to have everything I want, is I've got to affirm and believe in my heart that I have it. I can do that. I can do that. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I have that effect on people. Yeah, y'all don't know this, but for 8 years I was a corrections officer in a man's prison. So I've learned a lot of things in life. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Yep, Nikki, that's true. That's a good one. Yeah, y'all need to start practicing this. Try this. I remember when, and see, I want to hear what kind of results you get. Because like I said, it's not like a big surprise boom that happens. It's like a gradual process. You just notice one day, wow, when I remember when, now that's where, it's like all of a sudden you realize, well, I'm in that state that I wanted to be in. I'm in that state of wealth. I have that new job. And it'll just hit you all of a sudden. It's really weird. Advice on how to see your SP as the version you want. Yes. Yes, you need to see them as the version that you want them to be, not what they are. You do not dwell on how they act. If you keep assuming that they're sweet and they're kind and they're considerate and loving, whatever aptitudes you want them to have, you keep assuming that about them no matter what the 3D world shows you, and they will change. I have changed somebody in 3 days. It wasn't an SP. It was, I'll tell y'all the little story. It was my brother-in-law. And this is kind of simple, and I was just playing with manifestation. I was staying in my mom's house. She passed away, and me and my sister were remodeling the house. We were painting and all this stuff. And every day when my brother-in-law come home, and he's a sweet guy. I love him to death. But he works construction. And he was fussing about this job. I hate this job. I'm just so tired of this. It's dangerous. This job's got to work. Just griping. Nobody did what they were supposed to do. It was just a total nightmare. Every day he'd come home with this big spiel about how awful that job was. I said, oh, hell no. I'm tired of listening to this. So I started visualizing him saying, I love my job. It's the best job ever. I so enjoy my job. Yeah, I said, he just loves his job. And I did it for like 3 days constantly. Every time I thought about it, I would affirm. And about 3 days later, he came home from work, and I said, well, hey, how was your day at work? Oh, my God, I love my job. It's great. My sister about fell out. So ever since then, she manifests too, and she does really good. So, but it was funny. But that's a little quick one. We did that one fast. Okay. When doing I remember when, and you see something from the old story, is that not affirming the old story? You probably are not going to see anything to the old story, and I would ignore it. I would just let it go. Like, kind of, what you turn your attention from goes away. But once you say that, I remember when, matter of fact, in the stories that I've read, Neville's dad created their company, and I think that company is still in business today. It's worth a lot of money. But his dad created that whole business. And that man, every morning after breakfast, would go sit down and do his, meditation or whatever you want to call it. He would visualize what he wanted to happen throughout the day. He planned his day in the morning. I thought that was pretty cool. Just push those opposing thoughts down. Katie, if there's whatever the job is, I'm the perfect one for that job. They are I've always got that job. I'll always have that job. I have the best job ever. And then you just speak what it is or whatever. And just, push down those little tweaky thoughts that you get, those little bastard thoughts, immediately put them things down with a good affirmation. That's all you do to them things. You just, that's not how it is. It's like this. You just kind of argue with yourself. But you push them down immediately and replace them with the affirmation that you want it to be. Any advice for me? SP calls me best friend and he's madly in love with you. He can't think of anybody but you. He is madly in love with you. That's you mama? Yeah, I definitely try this. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you say. He's madly in love with you. He thinks about you constantly. You are the only woman he desires. Is saying too many affirmations bad? Oh, Lord, I hope not. Because I affirm about stuff all day long. Like first thing in the mornings and last thing at night before I go to bed, I affirm what's most important to me, what I'm working on at the time. Like I was working on my car. Well, I got that. So I don't have to work on that anymore. I went to working on other things. And but then throughout the day, it's like I'm constantly revising. If there's something pops up that I don't like that situation, I immediately revise it, change it, affirm what I want to happen. It's just like the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and it will become an absolute way of life. And it's a great way to live because you make everything conform to how you want it. So it's easy. Just keep at it. Don't matter how many mistakes you make, you just keep going. Persist, persist, persist. Yeah, Nikki, you could do that. So I want to use it. I remember when for more consistent communication. I would take it even broader than that. But you could say, I remember when we hardly had any communication, and now he communicates with me all day. Something like that. You can change it however you need to. Oh, Asha, thank you. Yep, just keep affirming. Don't give up. Samantha. What is the best way to manifest someone out of your life? See them somewhere else. I did that too. See them somewhere else. But you don't wish anything bad for them. You just, consider, they would be so much better. I'm so glad that they found a new place to live, or I'm so glad that they're happy somewhere else. I've even said that. I'm so glad they are happy somewhere else. And they would just kind of move on out. Anything from noisy neighbors to whatever. I mean, you don't wish them any harm. You just move them on down the road. I'm having some struggles manifesting my 17 away from trouble friends. Oh, this is your kid? Yeah, I would do a little bit of meditation on that, and then I would just affirm that, my child's only attracted to people who are healthy for them to be around. They have good, loving, kind friends. Anything like that you can think of. You can think of things a little bit more specific. And there's nothing wrong with having specific affirmations. Jalen advice SP on Halloween. Why you want to wait till Halloween? My SP loves me and texts me all the time. I'm so happy I'm always getting texts from my SP or whatever his name. Say his name, don't say SP. But yeah, you don't have to wait till Halloween. Go ahead and get a text now. He needs to be contacting you now. He is madly in love with you. He's always contacting you. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. I was just trying to give y'all some good content. I don't want to get on here and just, talk about anything. Give y'all something to, help build you up, support you. The affirmations help to build the assumptions. Yes. The more you say something over and over and over, thinking it, kind of like, almost like it, I don't know, just let it kind of consume you. I mean, in a mental, meditative way. And you just keep thinking it over and over and over, and it becomes a habit, and it's an assumption. So then when it becomes that assumption, and that's the way you know things always are, things always will be that way, and then they are. And it won't take long. I mean, I haven't seen any manifestations take long. Even when I was looking for a house, and I didn't even know that there was such a thing as manifestation. It still only took me 3 months. And I got that house at a steal of a deal. I mean, I've always had great things happen to me, but that's the way I believe. I believe, whatever I want is going to come to me sooner or later. It's mine. I claim it. I intend and affirm it's mine. And I'll say that, and I just kind of like, it's not that I drop it or forget about it. It's just that I'm more or less like, when you got something, you can lay it down. You don't have to worry about carrying it around with you. You know you got it. No, you can't manifest too much. Ain't no way. If you're living in the end, if you say it's coming or it's happening, are you counteracting living in the end? Not really, because I've known people that have done that and they've had good success with it. It's just, it's it's coming. You have it. You have confidence. It's more of a feeling, I think, in your spirit that you have it. You have it. So it's pretty much the same thing. But I've seen people say that and still get their manifestation. Is thinking your affirmations on a loop or listening to them as effective as saying them? If you, like I got an iPhone and I got a little microphone and I've recorded like 3 or 4 5-minute affirmations, constantly the same affirmation. And I only put one affirmation on each one of them. And I'll listen to them last thing at night before I drift off to sleep, first thing in the morning. That's your voice. But now the affirmations that you get off of YouTube, no, because that's not your voice. Your brain really is not going to accept that. I'm so thankful I got that job. How can I say it if I'm waiting to hear back from the job I applied for? I'm so thankful I got that job. You've already got it. It's already yours. You're thankful that you've got that job. And that's another thing, too. Being thankful and grateful. That goes a long way, too, with affirmations and stuff. Emily, yeah, I just go about my day. After I do it, I don't worry about it anymore. It doesn't matter if you set a date. You can change that. Manifestation, there's no rules to it. I mean, the bottom line to everything, no matter what you want, if you assume that you already have it, it could be here tomorrow. I mean, really. You could just change it to whatever the date was, just cancel that out, and start manifesting that you have it now. It's mine now. It's already mine. Now, you don't have to memorize them, the affirmations. But I would just stick to 1 or 2, 3 at the most. I wouldn't go over that. On one specific thing. Like, if you're working on something, you do them at night in the mornings and try to do them at least once throughout the day. But the other times, I mean, you're going to be thinking about other things. And you just think about, is this the way I want this to be? And you can switch it around. You can affirm, I have new carpet. I have new furniture. The secondary things that you want. But no, you don't have to memorize them. Which after you say them so much, I guess you do memorize them. Any tips on knowing your power? Yeah, your confidence. You feel it. You know you have it. You just feel it inside your heart. It just, it's a weird thing to explain. I mean, it's almost like a spiritual side. It's a spiritual thing that you feel, and you have the confidence, and you know that you have what you want. Can you explain how to visualize properly? Yeah, it's visualization to me is easy. I just visualize the shortest scene that I can because I want it to be straight and to the point, not no long drawn out mess. You just want a little 2 or 3 second scene that implies that you have what you want. Say you want to get a marriage proposal, so you want to be engaged. See you and your SP sitting at a table in a nice restaurant. You might can hone in on what he's wearing, and you just see your hands with the engagement ring on it. Say he's touching the ring, and you two are just feeling so happy because you know you're engaged. That's all you got to do. You don't even have to say nothing. So just little, and any scene like that. I mean, everybody's got imagination. Just make it a little short scene, and then loop that 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5, whatever until you feel like, almost like it's a memory, like it's done. You know it's done in your soul. You know it's done. So it's a done deal, and you can just go on about your day. Can we change someone's religion with affirmations? Probably so. I would think so. You can change anything. Yeah, 10's a lot of affirmations. You don't, it's not a regimen that you have to stick to, like a book of rules or nothing. Just throughout the day, just, repeat 2 or 3 of them, just 4 of them. That's fine. I think you even get better results if you stick to the same 2 or 3, all the time until you get what you want, and then then you work on your next project, and you can just do it like that. Either way, there's no wrong way to do it, but I'm just saying what's easier, especially when you're just learning about manifestation. Just work on one thing at a time, and it also helps it come quicker. So, if you want to move to California, just imagine yourself already sleeping there. Go through the TV, the housing apps or whatever. Look at houses that are for sale over there, whatever you want, and see yourself sleeping in that house, because most of them are models anyway. They've already got the furniture in them and everything. And just see yourself there. Feel yourself there. Just feel like you already live in California. And just keep that up. Don't let it fall. Just keep up that, I live in California. I live in California. I'm so happy I live in California. And just keep it up, and you'll find yourself there very soon. The biggest thing with manifestation is consistency of your affirmations or visualizations, whichever one you want to do. But affirming and believing it, because just as soon as you get it as an assumption in your mind that you know you have this, then you'll have it. That's just the way it works. It's just that simple. Ashley, what does it mean when you went through a super depressing period and now you're really excited, bouncing off the walls? I think you changed states. You've moved into a better state, a happy state. It's got to be a good place. I'm wondering if it matters if even thinking of a situation at all. I'm sorry, but it won't. When I said when I do see more, there it goes. Okay. Thank you, word that time. Okay. If thinking of a situation at all is a trigger, creates fear, is it okay to revise that state? If not, how would you handle that? Sometimes you have to face your fears. I would try tapping it out, Bethany. That faster EFT tapping, Sammy talks about it. She's got 2 or 3 videos on it. There's a little 6-minute video on YouTube that Robert Smith does. He's the one that we learned that from. And if you go ahead and tap it out first and then revise it, I think that would help you, especially if it triggers you. And tap it out till it's gone. Till it doesn't promote a reaction in you anymore. And it does work, because I have done it. I've used it for a lot. Let's see. How would you revise something when you aren't aware of what the issue is? Just that it creates a negative cycle. I would use the EFT tapping on that one. Yeah, like I said, do the EFT tapping, and you don't even have to be specific. You just say that you let go all negative feelings, all feelings of anxiety, all feelings of sadness. You release and let it go. You release and let it go. As you tap. And I can't really show you how to do tapping right now because I'm holding my phone with the other hand. But EFT tapping, faster EFT tapping. Don't leave that out. When you type it in and look it up on YouTube, faster EFT tapping, or go back and find Sammy's video. She did one not long ago that she shows how to do it. It is a wonderful technique. And it'll help you get rid of that negative cycle, and then you can manifest, do your manifestations, and you'll see better results. Katie, yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad you got to move to California, too. I'm believing with you. Yeah, the job you apply, anytime you apply for a job or anything like that, and it's what you really want, then automatically start assuming. I mean, you don't even, you could do it before you put the application in. And you just assume, I've got that job. It's so great. I'm so thankful I got that job. You just start affirming right then that you have that job. Oh, it's easy, Claire. How can you remove people out of your life but still intend good things for them? I'm so happy they moved to California. Just kidding. But, yeah, something like that. You're just so happy for them that they've, moved to another city, another town, another state, wherever you think they'd be happy. You just affirm that. They've got a new job, moved away, and they're doing great. Yeah, you don't have blocks, Charlotte. There's no such you don't have blocks. That's just let me explain this. You only have a block because you're saying you have a block, okay? Quit saying it. Just let it go. I don't have any blocks. I'm good. Everything in my life is wonderful. If nothing else works, everything in my life is wonderful. Works. It overrides pretty much everything. No, that SP. No, the SP thing. I'm sorry, I didn't see all of that. He's madly in love with you. Don't spend no time stressing over no SP. I mean, none. Don't even blink your eyes. You hear me, girls? Listen to me. Don't even let it enter your mind. The minute he does something or says something that pisses you off, don't get mad about it. You immediately change it. Oh, no, he's madly in love with me. He always does what I say. His main objective is to make me happy. That is his main prime directive, to make me happy. Yeah. That's how you deal with that. Yeah, talking to your subconscious like it's your best friend. Yeah, I talk to my Marcia God self all the time. We have great conversations. Is it okay to affirm all day? Sure. It's natural. I mean, we are all thinking about something. There is something running through our minds 24/7. It never stops, not even when we're asleep. So that is the reason why you affirm right before you drift off to sleep and first thing in the morning, because that's direct contact with your subconscious. But all day long, we are thinking things. There's things running through our head. If you're running your affirmations through your mind, it doesn't give those negative thoughts, they don't have a chance. It keeps them down to a bare minimum. It helps you to not be troubled with the negative. You don't have time to think about it because you're affirming. So, Nikki, why are you confused? Isn't that why we are affirming? Because we are wanting to change what we already assume. Yes, that is correct. You have bad assumptions and you're trying to change them to good assumptions. You've let yourself believe, let's see an example. Say somebody's a butthead. They're mean to you every time you see them. Well, if you change your assumption, well, he's always nice to me. He's always so sweet. He's always bringing me stuff. it's like a everyday thing. It's like breathing. You've got to get into a rhythm of automatically, changing and affirming to whatever the situation is. And it's like, I don't know, it's just like everything starts working better. Everything just flows then because you're on an even keel and you're consistently changing old assumptions into new, more positive assumptions. Yeah, Lene, I've just started affirming I have everything my heart desires right now. Yeah, that's a great affirmation. If you feel time pressure, what are you trying to have, Sheila? Don't let the time pressure, no matter what, don't let that bother you. Just keep affirming that you have what you want. Just keep affirming it. No matter what you see, it doesn't matter what you see. Quiness told a story the other day of where her sister, she was getting her in college, and I can't remember all the details, but it was something to the order of they were trying to say that her sister owed money, and they were not going to let her go, re-sign up for college. And Quiness kept saying, no, no, no. They owe her money. They owe her money. They owe her money. They owe her money. She is admitted, and they owe her money. And it came down to the very last day, the day before she had to sign up. And it does this to you sometimes. I don't know why there's no answers for it. But it waited for 3 or 4 weeks. It came down to the very last day. And they said, oh, well, she's admitted and she gets $3,000 back. $3,000. Yeah. Sometimes it takes it to the last day. There was a girl that I was coaching, and she had, I'm not going to go into the details because I don't want her to think I'm telling her business. But anyway, she was very upset because she had not passed 2 classes, and they weren't going to let her go to class, and she was imagining all the worst scenarios, of course. And I kept telling her, I said, if you will keep affirming, if you will just keep believing, keep affirming, everything will work out. I promise, everything will work out. And, she was upset to the point of tears. And then the last day, she talked to the counselor, and the counselor said they were 20 other students with the same problem she had. So they all got a chance to take it over. So she didn't lose anything. So, you just have to trust the plan. Sometimes you just have to trust the plan. You have to do what you know is the right thing to do, and do your affirmations, and stand on faith that what you're saying is what is going to be. That's what you have to do sometimes. But it'll happen. I've seen it so many times. Let's see, I think she means more of like not going around affirming for 30 minutes, but then thinking all day about your 3D Yeah, do not think of the 3D circumstances. That's what I'm saying. Say the car's broke down and there's no money in the bank, and don't think about all these things. Your SP's pissed off. He's not talking to you. It's not like that. It's not like that. Everything in my world is perfect. And you keep saying that no matter what you see. I don't give a damn if the house is on fire. Everything in my life is perfect. You just keep saying it. You keep believing it. I don't care what you see, any way, shape, or form. Keep affirming. Because sooner or later, what you're affirming is going to come into existence, and everything is going to be worked itself out, and it's going to be fine. It will be good. I can't explain how it happens, but I know it happens because I have seen it. I do feel my affirmations when I say them. I feel them, yeah. It's like I take time and I relax. I take a few deep breaths. throughout the day, I'll just do that. I'll sit down and relax, and I mean, everything in my world is perfect. And I just say that over and over and over. And it's almost like sometimes when I'm really into the mood and the quietness and the relaxation, after I say my affirmations 5 or 6 times, it's like I get a feeling of electricity that just shoots through my body. It's almost like, not a strong one, but I mean just a subtle, thrill. And it's like I know it's done. So, and Neville talked about that, and I thought he was crazy. But it does happen. You can affirm to the point to where you feel this, like, I don't know, it's just like a volt of electricity goes through you. And you know that it's done enough, and I just let it go on. I go on to the next thing. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, it's 10:30. I have been on here an hour, y'all. But we can do this again. You don't have to feel your affirmation. You don't have to believe them. But I think it's important to feel them. And all you got to do is just be quiet and think in yourself. Turn the phone off. Turn the TV off. And sit back and relax in quiet for a minute. And hear. My mom always used to say, we'd be kids and playing and doing this stuff. Well, you be quiet. I can't even hear myself think. It's important to hear yourself think sometimes. You need to hear yourself think. What's running through your mind? Because that's what's important to you. And when you change that, if it's not what you want running through your mind, then you need to change it. Because when you get that changed, then everything will fall into place. Yes, Samantha, that's it. It's important to be calm, to sit down, to hear yourself think. All right, y'all, I have enjoyed this, but I got to get off of here. What are some of the ways to get ourselves to live in the end? Feel like you already have what you're wanting. You feel like you already have it. Just like you've ordered a package from Amazon. You done paid for it. You know it's going to be here. You take comfort in knowing that you already have it. Imagine yourself with it. Do some little daydreams. Imagine being in the situation that you want to be in. It's good to daydream. Yeah, Laya K. Yeah, it's working. It's always working. And don't be looking for results. Just let it be a surprise. So, anyway. Yeah, you're SP and you've been seeing each other again. It feels more sexual than a committed relationship. Well, start saying, he's madly in love with you. He is totally convinced that you are wife material. Everything about you makes him, just feel totally wonderful. So, yeah, you can visualize about your SP on and off all day. It won't hurt nothing. You can visualize as much as you want to. Just make sure it's happy visualizations. Oh, okay. Thank you, mama. Would you recommend affirming becoming unblocked by SP or living in the end of us being together and happy? Yeah, but I would go farther than unblocked. When you say that he's madly in love with you and you're the only woman he desires, you're covering a multitude of area. That pretty much covers everything, because that's going to encompass him being nice, him unblocking you, him constantly contacting you. Because when you're in love with somebody, you want to be with them all the time. So, I mean, that's like a blanket affirmation that covers a lot of stuff. My SP asked me to be his girlfriend today. A good affirmation for your SP to ask to be in a relationship with you. Wait a minute, I don't know if I got that one. Anyway, I'll check it out after the thing, and I'll still be able to answer you. All right, guys, I got to get off of here and let you go, but I have enjoyed talking to everybody. It's been great. Let's see, I had a question. My SP and I broke up because of his family. They don't want us to be together. No, your SP is madly in love with you, and his family loves you. You say those two over and over and over. His family loves you. They think you're absolutely wonderful. And y'all remember, say these affirmations, like you're talking to somebody, but with confidence, like you got some backbone. I remember Sammy saying that. I mean, I say put some ass behind it, Say them things like you mean it. Don't be playing around. You can detach from the outcome. You can affirm that too. Affirm anything you don't want in your life, affirm it out. Just, don't do harm. But yeah, you can affirm anybody, anything, anywhere out of your life and be replaced. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I've enjoyed it. I'll answer everybody's questions that I didn't get to after I get it downloaded onto the Mermaid Gang. So y'all have a wonderful night. I have enjoyed this. Thanks, everyone.